Edmonton, Pittsburgh. We've got rotation 7-8. Pittsburgh minus 150 in this game. Total of 6 pretty much across the board. Edmonton Oilers, struggles continue. Losing again on the weekend to the Philadelphia Flyers, just 2-5 on the season. Now, the good news is they might get some reinforcements here for this hockey game tonight. It looks like Drake Caggiula, depth forward, a pretty good one, actually, could return to the lineup tonight for this Oilers team, and they might actually get Leon Draisaitl back as well. He is waiting to be cleared through the final stages. Apparently, this is a decision that's not going to be made until after Edmonton's morning skate in Pittsburgh later this morning. So that's definitely something you're going to want to keep an eye on to see if he will be playing and in the lineup for this Oilers team. They need all the help they can get right now. It's been a struggle. There's no denying that for Edmonton. They could definitely use some reinforcements, and they might have a few of those back here coming into tonight's game. Pittsburgh just hasn't been able to put everything together just yet. There's no question. It's been a little bit erratic, a little bit up and down so far for the Pittsburgh Penguins hockey team. Just 5-4 on the season. We know, obviously, Antti Niemi put on waivers. Can't possibly be a shock to anyone who's watched him play this season. I mean, he's been absolutely shredded, just absolutely carved up in between the pipes. He gave up a 7 spot the other night against Tampa Bay. Not good whatsoever in that regard. But, it's obviously a pretty, what you would think is going to be a PO'd, angry Pittsburgh Penguins team. I don't think they usually take kindly to losing games of that magnitude. That's a couple big stink bombs they've had this year, the Penguins. We think about how Chicago ended up absolutely romping Pittsburgh early in the season, 10-1, and then they get absolutely bombed by Tampa, 7-1 in their last game. But the good news is we talk about good teams off a loss. That's always an angle that's good, serves me well in a lot of sports. Good elite teams off a loss, especially a bad loss. Look at how Pittsburgh responded after they lost to Chicago. They shut out Nashville 4-0. Look at how Pittsburgh responded after they lost to Tampa on the road. They came back to against Florida and beat them by a score of 4-3. So already a perfect 2-0 off a loss this season. This Pittsburgh team, that's a track record I'm reluctant to go against here. I mean, you've got to pay a price. You got to give a little up, as Dana says, but minus 150. But I'm not going to have an Oilers bet in this game quickly because it's a marquee game. It's a situation where, this is a Stanley Cup Finals preview, according to a lot of people, before the season began. I heard Sportsnet guys and NHL Network guys, TSN guys, Oilers, Penguins, Stanley Cup Final. That was a very popular Stanley Cup Finals pick. And so far, you've got Pittsburgh up and down a little bit, not exactly clicking on all cylinders just yet. And you got Edmonton off to this massive 2-5 disappointment start. But again, it's October 24th. We caution people. There is a lot of season left. There is a lot of time for things to change, a lot of time for teams like Edmonton to get things rolling. But because this is such a big game, I'm going to get thoughts from all of you about it. Alex B. Smith, Oilers Penguins tonight. What do you think?
One of the big things I looked at is, look at Pittsburgh, 5 straight games over the total. Like I said, mentioning that the goaltending and sloppiness, but and they're one of the top 5 teams in shots. You look at Edmonton coming in, the last couple of games, they played 2-1 games, so they've slowed things down a little bit. Like I said, getting some guys back. It'll be interesting to see who dictates the pace early. I think this might be a game where if you're in the live betting, I would look at betting this live possibly, see if it's going to be more of Pittsburgh's current form of up and down, lots of shots, lots of offense, or if it's going to be what Edmonton's been kind of playing the last couple of games, tightening things up, hitting a lot more physical and a bit of a slower pace. So that's what I'll be looking for tonight. See who gets the edge right off the bat.
Yeah, it's a product for sure of Todd McClellan just reaming his team out for their lack of attention and care in the defensive zone. I think it was early last week he did that. He's actually done it a couple times already. And finally, Edmonton has dug in with better defensive efforts each of the last 2 games, even though they went 1-1. They did play better in their own zone, gave up just 3 goals combined in the 2 games to the Hawks and the Flyers. So at least a step in the right direction. Andrew, it's a big matchup. Everybody's saying, well, not everybody, a lot of people thinking finals preview. What do you think about tonight's game?
Yeah, I think we can all agree that Edmonton's been the letdown of the NHL so far. They've struggled defensively. They struggled offensively. They really haven't seen much of any of the expectations that anyone really had out of these guys. But, I specifically think it's their defense, guys. I think that they have trouble, transitioning the puck up the ice. They have trouble getting the puck out of their own end. Simply, I think this game could possibly go over, but I don't trust Edmonton these days for getting those numbers. But I would say, a game for me, maybe about like a 3-1 Pittsburgh or 4-2 Pittsburgh kind of game for me.
I think they might try to push the pace Edmonton a little bit tonight because McDavid's has not scored since that hat trick that he had against Calgary. Edmonton as a team just 2 goals or less in 6 straight games. And good quote from McClellan saying we're cleaning up the defensive part of our game, which is a good start for us. But now we've got to get the offensive part going. So that's a hint right there going into this game, right from the coach's mouth, that we might be looking to try to attack more and be more aggressive. From a totals perspective, it's over or pass for me, but not sure. I mean, we'll see. But those quotes kind of lend me to think maybe Edmonton's going to be okay with let's let the horses out of the stable. Let's run and gun and go with this Pittsburgh team. And certainly from a speed perspective, Edmonton has the potential to be able to hang with Pittsburgh in that style of game. Dana, what do you think here?
Oh, well, look, guys, I mean, I'm certainly, if I'm going to get a plus price with Edmonton, I'm certainly have to look to that side. I don't look at record as much right now. I look at pace of play. Are they getting offensive chances? I mean, honestly, guys, Edmonton's getting a ton of chances. They're just not putting it in back of the netminders. And in fact, they're averaging almost 39 shots a game. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, the quality chances are not always there, but that might change tonight. I mean, this is a Penguins team that Connor McDavid historically has been okay against. And we're also looking at the Penguins with a few injuries. You had Carter Rowney got hurt in Saturday's loss. You had Matt Hunwick get hurt as well. And so we don't know, if they're going to be 100%. I mean, there's going to be a point. There's just way too much talent on this team. There's going to be a point where this Oiler team breaks out. And, I think I like to compare, psychologically where teams are. And again, I kind of think that Pittsburgh, is a little bit satisfied, playing a little bit satisfied, is going to take a little bit to get going where, I feel like that this Edmonton team is going to break out at any point. And when they do, I want to at least get some plus money with them. And I think tonight's a good spot to do that.
All right. So a lean to Edmonton at the plus price, 130 you can get with the Edmonton Oilers, 132 actually at bookmaker/Chris. Again, shop around, get these best prices you can. And who helps you do that? Sportsbookreview.com. Check out their odds page. Look at all the books they give you on that live odds page. Unbelievable selection so that you can get the best price and the best number at all times.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.